Guten Tag from Vienna. First of all, I would like to shout out to all of my friends who sensed blood in the water and brutally razzed me for my obviously terrible title sequence that I am still immensely proud of, and my childish fear of airplanes. Your support has meant a lot to me. So, got through the flight, 11 hours. It actually got off the ground 2 hours later than it should have due to maintenance problems or something, or refueling. So by the time it landed in Frankfurt, my connecting flight to Malta, which would have been the last leg of my trip, had already left. So now I had to fly to Vienna, where I currently am for 3 hours, and then I will fly to Malta, and then actually have the first real part of my trip. And then later, I will be coming back to Vienna, so it's interesting that I am just coming to a place. This is not a new addition to my itinerary. But I will say the Vienna airport is probably the nicest airport I have ever been in. It's very stylishly designed, it's very spacious, they have like polished onyx, people talking in German over the PA system.
Please note that smoking is
Again, now in
permitted
English.
only in marked smoking areas. Thank you.
Interesting to me that all of the announcements in both Frankfurt and Vienna have been in German and English, considering that English is not, an official language of either country. So I just want to thank the British for having conquered most of the known world so that this is a reality to this day, because I don't know how I would survive this trip if not everyone I spoke to spoke English. So the plane was not as terrible as I had anticipated. Huge plane, bigger than any plane I'd ever been on. The thing that I found the most disconcerting was that people were up and around the entire time, like standing around, walking around. Flying domestic, that doesn't happen. So it really kind of felt like I was at like a strange, crappy party with the most boring guests ever, who were just clumped together and chatting and stuff. It was just odd. The weirdest moment came a couple hours in when I was walking back from the lavatory or something, and one of the stewardesses came up to me and she said, "Are you the doctor?" Like kind of expectantly. And I had never in my life regretted not going to medical school as much as I did in that moment, because I realized that I had just glanced up against a much more interesting adventure than I was about to have. So I told her no, and then she, I guess, went and found the real doctor, who I'm sure did something awesome or gross, but either way, it was probably better than just sitting back down in my seat and reading comics, which is what I did. So I'll be on my way to Malta. Hopefully my next update will be from there, and I will actually have some observations about legitimate culture and sites and not just airports like I'm some hacky road comic. Talk to you then.